Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, hi Ross. Hi Jonathan. Yep, I'm here. Okay. So, today is Sunday. Good morning for people coming from or watching from the United States. It's 7 o'clock in the morning here in Utah, and probably yeah, it's 8 o'clock in Texas. And well, in the Philippines, it is 9 o'clock in the evening, right? How was your weekend? Um, Thank you for joining me while you're resting to start a new week ahead of you. So, wait, where's my código? May código ako eh, no? Okay, so today I'll be talking about how I met my husband. And well, that is because, okay, I decided on this topic because this week actually marks the third year that I met him or we met up. Okay, so um 3 years ago, that was 2017. Oh, by the way, let's have a disclaimer here. Gab, magandang gabi mula sa Pilipinas. Yes, nakakamiss magtagalog minsan, no? I like I don't know. My husband said I start talking like I sleep talk, and he said that I actually talk in English while I sleep. He was like, I kind of thought that you'd be speaking in Filipino when you're like asleep, you know, but he said I speak in English, and we're guessing it's probably because I just speak English all the time here that probably even my unconscious mind, subconscious mind, speaks in English. I don't know, or process through English. But yeah, hi Gabby, thank you for tuning in again. And of course, Ross, thank you very much. So, huh, where will I start? Okay, this is my side of the story, and my husband may or may not agree with some parts of the story, but this is my channel, so Jonathan, you can chat away if you want if you disagree with my side of um, how things went. But well, it's my side of the story. Okay, so online dating. How is online dating nowadays or online apps? Is Tinder still a thing in the Philippines, Gabby? Hindi Gabby talaga tinanong ko. Okay, so back in 2016, I was going through a really rough time in my life. Like it's an entire makeover or overall, whatever you want to call it. Basically, like I was learning to live on my own because my family left. Um, I finally let go of toxic relationships, and I'm not only talking about romantic ones, even friendships and stuff like that. And I was, you know, having some career moves in my life, and it was just a mess. So that was 2016, and that's also when I decided to like start focusing on myself instead of trying to like make things work with everything. Like I have to like deal with myself first. So 2016 for me was a year of improvement, growth, pain maybe, and change. And a lot of people who knows me like know how crazy that time was. So after that, after I focus on myself and okay, Gabby said something. Haha, I think people around here use Bumble more often these days. Sabi lang, haha. Yeah, oh, last uh, Valentine's Day, when the coronavirus is not yet really a big thing here, Jonathan and I went to a pub crawl and we actually used Bumble. Okay, so, well, we didn't use Bumble, but we had to download the app Bumble to get some freebies because it was hosted by them. I never used Bumble when I was still single or so I didn't have an idea about it. I actually asked my husband and he told me a little about it. I guess he used it back then. I don't know what's the difference between Bumble and Tinder, but yeah. So back in 2016, I started improving on myself, and let go of things and just started to like date again, because I was just dating and I was like, I'm not, I'm just like letting things be. I stopped chasing things. I stopped, forcing things. I just let things be, and enjoy the moment. So that was 2016. And then in 2017, as I have mentioned in my one video, that's when I finally got my US tourist visa and went to the United States. That was exactly 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, I was in the US, and mainly I was in Texas. So I'm in Utah now. So yeah, 3 years ago, I was visiting Texas. Um, the first week was, well, even before I was in Texas, I was already like using online apps, like dating apps. I used something else. I just don't remember what it was. Um, so I used Tinder, and then I used another dating app. That other app only lets you, well, please correct me if I remember it wrong because I've totally have forgotten. But like Tinder would set a certain distance from where you are to show people who are there, right? And then you swipe left or right. And then the other dating app that I was using back then was, it kind of tracks where you are and it shows people who have been to places where you've been, So I forgot what app was that, but mainly before I met my husband, I was also using that one. And what is my experience with dating apps? Okay, a lot of people have like a lot of bad things to say about dating apps or are not into it or whatever. To me, back then I was really not like, I don't have a bad impression about them. I feel like it doesn't really matter where you meet the person. It all depends on the person, like, and you get what you are looking for if you just say it. So why did I say this? I guess because like my long-term relationship, I met him at the bar. So I mean that was an 8-year one. So to me it's unconventional, but it was okay. So I'd never really judged people based on where I met them. Well, sometimes I don't have a good judgment of people, but anyway. So that. But I also like had an ex who I met via a friend, and I was like, that was a horrible, horrible. It wasn't a okay. It's not okay. It's bad. So I'm like, I met someone through a friend. It wasn't. It didn't turn out well, and then I started dating again late 2016, and then I met someone online and again got into a relationship. As I've mentioned, I was a serial monogamist. So I was with that guy for like less than a year until he had to leave the Philippines because he had finished his studies. So mainly I met him through an app and it turned out well, and he's the first foreign guy I was in a relationship with. And to me, that also made me realize like, wait, why am I just like trying to date within like people of my race or whatever? Like, this isn't bad at all. He's actually, he treated me really well, and I was like, okay, this is fun. So that's when I started like swiping right. When it comes to like other nationalities or what in the Philippines they'll call a fam. So I'm like, pwede, sure, why not? Okay, and um, I know we should not judge people by their physical appearance, but we do, right? So one of the things that always like I always look for is uh I want a taller guy because you have to know what you want when you're online dating. So I knew I want to date someone who's taller than me because I'm just tired of trying to not wear shoes that I want because I don't like that, they're shorter than me because, yes, Jonathan, I am tall in the Philippines. Guys, please message there and tell him that I'm actually considered tall in the Philippines. Hi, Sammy. So Sam knows about this dating stuff. I don't really remember what app was that. So, um, I want someone who's taller than me, and it's kind of difficult to find someone taller than a guy taller than me in the Philippines or among Filipinos. So that's why, like, another reason why, like, yeah, I should expand my network or my interest. And then nose. Gusto ko na matangos ang ilong. Bakit ba? Sino bang ayaw, di ba? So, and that has always been like one of my insecurities. So, knock. Madam, amis da ko. Hi, Con! Kumusta? Where are you now? Where are you watching us from? I miss the Karen. So, okay. I want someone tall. Nose. Yes, one of my biggest insecurities is my nose, but of course I've done something about that, which I mean, or may not talk about. Let's see. Maybe someday, kapag mas marami ng subscribers, char, I might make a video about that or whatever. But yeah, so syempre gusto natin na matangos ang ilo. Lo, Jonathan, you saw it yourself when you went here. We could find you from a mile away. Kalagumo. Thank you. Okay. Con Kuala Lumpur. Hi. Yeah. Okay. So for the Nok is a student of mine from the Philippines. She was my student in review class. She's a Kapampangan. So for non-Kapampangans who read Kalagumo, it means in Tagalog, ang ganda mo. In English, you're beautiful. Okay, so yeah. Thank you. Of course, we have to maintain. But just woke up. Shut up. Well, yeah, kinda. Totoo. Kagigising ko lang. I just put a little lip gloss. And kilay. Akalain mo, nagkilay. Pero pag nag-work, wala ng kilay. Okay, anyway. So, gusto ko matangos ilong. Gusto ko matangkad sa akin. And medyo mahirap yung kapag Pinoy ang dinidate mo. So, those were some of my considerations. And last thing was, yeah, I think that was kind of it. Okay, anyway. So, I was dating and I broke up with that guy. And I started doing online, dating again. Why not? So, I was doing that and met some dates. Some are okay, some are not, but it is what it is. I think the attitude that you should have when you are doing this dating apps is, you shouldn't be forcing things. If they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. So just let it be. You just be the best version of yourself because you can never really force another person to like reply or message back or whatever. So women, I feel like, should just let it be. A guy who wants you will pursue you. That's one thing I have learned. So I was in Texas for a week. I was okay because my family, we were like visiting and stuff. So of course I was on this dating app. I was on Tinder. Let's try what's here. Syempre, hindi alam ng nanay ko yan. Mga, di ba? Parang, no. Okay, so, I was swiping left and right. And I matched with Jonathan. Of course, I also matched with other people. And one difference, I feel like, with the U.S. culture and the Filipino culture when it comes to Tinder or dating apps, at least back then, was in the Philippines, you could be talking to someone for years and have never met them in person. Right? Like, I feel like, or we've been talking for a while but never really like met in person. You just like talk. Here, though, it's kind of different because some of the guys that I swipe right on and match with, they're like, hey, are we meeting up or what? Like, like after 2 days of like talking, they'll just be like, hey, are we meeting up or are we wasting time? And I'm like, if you think, well, my reply back then was, if you think talking to me or getting to know me is a waste of time for you, then you can go. Because I can't go out. I can't go out mainly because I was visiting family and I can't go out because my mom wouldn't let me go out. Mind you, I was what, 27, 28 years old at this time. So a lot of American guys who I matched with were just like, eventually just stopped messaging me, or like those who have like um, added me in Facebook or something like that are just like, they're still talking. Some just are weird, so I just block some. Some are just weird. Okay, so that's how it is with dating apps. Some will be weird, so you just like have to watch out for yourself. So, um, what made me swipe right with my husband? Okay, I looked at his, of course, pictures in Tinder. One of them was him working out. Back then he was into CrossFit, so I was like, this is cool because I like working out, and people who've known me in the Philippines would know that even if I'm tired from lecturing, as soon as I get home, I will message my trainer and we'll have like I go to the gym and have work out. It depends how I feel on what workout will do. Okay, so that's the reason why I swipe right. According to my husband, he swiped right because I'm beautiful. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. Okay, but yeah, of course. And he saw that I traveled a lot because my pictures there were like different places that I have been to. I remember that one of my Tinder pictures was in Japan, and then I have another one in Quran, and I think I have another one in Thailand. So those are some of the pictures that I have in my Tinder. I did that mainly because I do love to travel, so I would want to match with someone who wants to travel as well. Okay, I don't think I have any workout pics, but my husband had a workout pic, and I think he had. Babe, I don't remember what other picture you had, but I remember that workout pic, and that's the reason why I swipe right. Okay, so when you are doing this dating apps, an advice is, don't just swipe right because he looks good or whatever. Make sure you both have a common interest. Well, if you want something more than just a hookup. Now, if you just want a hookup, then just swipe right because of the looks. But at that age, I'm just like, I'm in my late 20s. I'm not actively looking for a partner, but I don't also like just wanna like hook up or whatever. So I need to find a common interest before swiping right. Okay, so that's just me. Again, it's up to you, however you want to do this dating apps. Or if you don't want to do them, then don't. But to me, it's been a good experience, obviously. Okay, so I swiped right, and as I was telling, a lot of guys here or men here will be like, are we just wasting time and I'm meeting up? Some would even go like say, just tell me where you are dining with your family because I just want to see you. I guess they've experienced, or they're just scared of being catfished, or like, people using totally different pictures. I never use different pictures. uh, I sometimes use a little filter, but basically that is it. I don't edit my pictures, but I think that's what they were thinking. And sad to say, well, happy to say, I don't know. I'm just like, no, I can't meet up. I cannot go out. My husband was different because he wasn't very aggressive with meeting me, mainly because he was not in Texas at that time. He was working and was here in Utah for that week that almost everybody's just like, oh, let's meet and stuff. So he just went on to like talking to me, and we're just messaging and stuff. And I even remember one of his messages would be like, oh, when are you leaving? And then I told him like, I'm only staying here for 2 weeks and stuff. And it's like, how am I gonna charm you away with just 2 weeks? Something like that. He made a certain pickup line or whatever weird comment, but I don't really remember what it was. And it's just like, oh, this guy is fun, and he is not like very, atat. I don't know how to translate that in English, babe. Hindi siya yung atat at hindi rin siya yung parang natatakot ka makipag-meet kasi parang, ano ba? So, we were just chilling, and I guess it worked out that he was not in town. So, he was here in Utah, and I was in Texas, so we were talking the whole time that he was here in Utah, and I was in Texas. And so, he flew back to a weekend because he usually just stays here like Tuesday to Thursday before for work. So he flew back and he was like, "Hey, can we meet or what?" I'm like, it's just that my mom would let me go out. Like I don't know how to go out because Filipino moms, that's how it is. So one time I even told him like, "Hey, I'm catching up. I'm going out with my brother right now. It's like 11 o'clock in the evening. We're getting some tacos, and I'm here. Blah blah blah. If you want to meet up, because we tumakas kami, sneak out from our parents, and we just had food in the middle of the night." And he was like, "If I'm going to drive, like, how long are you gonna stay there?" He's like, "I'm just like." I'm here maybe for 30 40 minutes. It's like, oh, I'm 30 minutes away from there. If I go there now, I wouldn't even like see you. So we didn't meet up. And one time I was like, I think I can go out tonight. And he's like, he's already had plans. So he's on a date with someone else, which I don't mind. I mean, we were just talking, and it's Tinder. Come on, everybody or almost everyone you'll be meeting on a dating app is also meeting up with someone. Okay, so do not assume that it's exclusive. So I don't care. So I was like, okay. But he said he really wanted to meet me, and back then I was still kind of hung up. Yeah, I was still kind of hung up with my past relationship, which was the first partner, that ex of mine, okay, that Persian guy that I dated. So I was kind of still like, oh, I've been talking kind of a lot about him, and then my husband back then would just say, well, some guys would be like, oh well, don't go back to him, like But I remember him telling me like, well, sorry to break this to you, but he's not here, so he doesn't want you that bad. Franca, di ba? Like he left, he left, so he doesn't want you that bad. Like, yeah, that's sweet, that's nice of him, but the point is, he left. He's gone. And I'm like, wow, this guy is brutally honest. Like he's not sugarcoating things. And it's like, and I like another guy I was talking to would be like, or some other guy would be talking to, well, then go back to him if you're still like stuck on him or whatever. But my husband's just like, well, he's gone now. You have to move on. And like, I'm like, oh, this is something refreshing. And he's smart. Like he's like not pushing you away, but also not making it feel like I don't care, So that's one thing. And then, so we were talking, getting to know each other and stuff like that. And the last weekend before I leave for the Philippines, because it was October 7 when I finally met up with him. October 7 back then was a Saturday, and I was living Wednesday. So I think I was living like October 11 or 10. I don't really remember. Okay, so my husband was like, I wish I could really meet you before you like go back to the Philippines. So I was like, I really don't know how, because I'm basically stuck here at home. And he's like, well, before that he was like, wait, how old are you for not to go out, like, or not be allowed to go out? I'm like, I told him my age. Oh, he was like, yeah, okay, so you're of legal age to go out and date. I'm like, yep. But you know how it is in the Philippines, you can't really just go out if you're with your parents and date out. So, or it's just my parents or whatever. Okay, so, I told him like, I don't know, we'll see. And then my brother asked me Friday night, like, hey, do you want to go tomorrow with me to my doctor's appointment? And I was like, sure, what time? I saw it as an opportunity to sneak out. And he was like around 8 o'clock. So I messaged then Jonathan. I told him like, hey, if you want to meet up for breakfast tomorrow, I think I can. So it was an 8 o'clock breakfast date that we met, or we set a date for. So I woke up the next day, got ready, and my brother and I were trying hard to be so quiet as to not wake anyone up, because we don't want our mom to go with us. Because I would be able to meet up with Jonathan if I do. So my brother was my partner in crime in all of this. Oh my god, and I was 28 years old and I have a career in the Philippines and I was living on my own there and traveling the world, but I have to sneak out to go on a Tinder date with Jonathan. Isn't that ridiculous? Are you guys like that too? Like when you're on your own, you could just go out, but like if you're at your parents' home, you just can't because you can't. Ganun din ba kayo? Can you like tell me how your experience is when it comes to like dating? So I went out with my brother, or he drove, and I told Jonathan like, hey, can we meet somewhere that is like near me or near you or near me? I'm sorry, near me, so that my brother can just drop me and he can pick me up after. So he looked for a place that is near my parents' home, that is Vintage Park. And when we got there, I was like, oh, this is a nice place. Because my first impression of the United States, especially of Texas, is just like, uh, this is it. That was just a first impression. Of course, things changed when I lived there and met more people. Ross Naval. When I was younger, I always said we have a group work on Saturdays. Though I can't say I have a. I also did that when I was in the Philippines, or I have to study, or I have a meeting, or whatever. I couldn't do that because I was in the United States just visiting. So I have literally no excuse to go out of the house. So yeah, Jonathan, see, that's how Filipino culture is. Gabji, yeah, my parents would wait for me to get back home, so I need to be back by midnight. Yeah, that is the Filipino culture, y'all. If you're a foreign viewer, like, or you're not non-Filipino watching this live stream, that is how we are. Okay, see, I'm normal. I don't know how I'll be when we have kids, though. Okay, so um, we got ready as quiet, as silent as possible. And when we were about to get out of the door, my mom woke up and she's like, wait, I'm going with you. My brother was like, no, 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 no. You'll take so much time. I'll be late for my appointment. We'll be back before lunch. And we have this thing because my brother has this company outing thing that, the family can go. So we're going there. And so my mom didn't go with us, and my brother dropped me at Vintage Park, and I'm like, oh, this is nice, and I like it. So Jonathan was on time. He was actually early. I was a little late. Well, we got lost. Jonathan, my brother, always gets lost, so we got lost a little. So I met him, and OMG, guys, first impression, ang tangkad. Babe, what I just said was like, OMG, he's so tall. I remember what I was wearing there. I was wearing my an olive green romper because it was October in Texas, and October in Texas is still kind of warm. No, con, no con. Ano ba gusto mo itawag ko? Okay, I always have an excuse for everything. Yeah, we have to come up with excuses because we cannot just tell our parents that, hey, we're going out to date. And that's when my husband once asked my mom, is like, would you rather have your kids tell you the truth or tell you what you want to hear? But I guess it's normal. See, it's normal for Filipinos to not tell their parents that they're actually going out on a date. We don't. See, people will say they have group work, they have school work and stuff like that because it is just it. So I saw my husband. I knew it was him. It's so easy to see him from afar because he's so tall. Like, oh, dude, he's so tall. Okay, so we went to Coco's Crepes and Waffles. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Take note. And he asked me, like, hey, are you hungry? Are you getting anything to eat? And I'm like, mm-mm. And then he replied by saying, oh, I'm just gonna get coffee then. I'm like, wait, I am eating. Wait, of course I didn't say this. I'm like, oh, okay, let's have coffee. Then later on, we realized that when I said mm-mm, that means no here. Guys, when I said mm-mm, is that a yes or a no? Your brother is the best. Palusot pamor. Yeah, he is. He is my partner in crime. My sister too, actually. we cover up each other. We cover for each other, or you get what I mean. Pinagtatakpan namin ang isa't isa. That's what happened. So I said, mm-mm. I was like, yeah, I'm hungry in my head. And he said, it's just gonna have coffee. I'm like, oh, sure, yeah, coffee. So we had coffee. And we were there for like 2 hours because my brother had his eye checkup and getting his glasses and choosing which frame to use. And it's funny because my brother sent a picture in our family group chat that, hey, which of these frames is nice? And then they're like, wait, you're with your sister in our family. Gabshi, is a yes here. Yeah. See? So my family was like, "You're with my dad, me. You're with Mary dad. Why are you asking us which frame to use? I mean, I, I'm the fashionista in the family, so I'm the consultant when it comes to what looks good and not. So they're just like, why are you asking us? You're with her. Yeah, she's outside. That's what my brother said. She's not. She's outside, is what my brother replied, because I was outside a few miles away from him dating. So I was talking to Jonathan, so we had a great time. I think we were there for like 2 hours. We just coffee. I was starving. He starved me on our first date. But well, he paid for the coffee. I don't remember if I offered paying. I don't think I offered paying. I'm like, okay, let's see. Let's see if how this goes. So he paid for the date, and that's one thing I have learned to appreciate. Like, because when I was still dating and stuff, I'm like, I have my own money, so I don't mind paying for my own meal. But then later on, I realized like one of the things I look for in a man is a generous guy, because I am very generous as well. So someone, if you if I paid on the first date, you'll never see me again. It is what it is. Yeah. Uh, if I don't like, I sometimes offer, but sometimes I don't. I don't really mind. I just know he paid. Okay, so I was like, oh, and one more thing that I really like had him some poggy points. Babe, you understand poggy, diba? Handsome. So in the Philippines, like, was one more poggy point he got when I met up with him was he opened the door for me. Like, I'm all about being independent woman, but I appreciate that. Like, as we went in the coffee shop, he opened the door for me, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. It's such a, in this world right now, it's very rare to find a guy who actually would open the door for you. So I'm like, he opened the door for me. He paid. Good. So check, buggy point. But I said, and he did not buy me food, but he bought me coffee. So fine. We were talking for like 2 hours, and just talking and talking about a lot of stuff. Yes, you are the fashionista. I definitely agree with that. Thank you. Thank you, Con. So, we were talking. I was hungry, but I won't tell you I'm hungry. Okay, I'm like, okay. My brother came back. I was wearing flats when I met him, so I went up to like hug him and like, hey, it was nice meeting you, and stuff. Uh, it is common for me to message after I leave that, hey, thank you if I did not have a good time. Hey, I had fun. Thank you if I did have a good time. So I messaged him like, hey, thank you for the coffee and everything. Like, I had a great time. And that was Saturday, and he's like, yeah. And Jonathan was like, hey, I really would love to meet you again or take you out again. Before you go. And I was like, well, if we're gonna meet up again, you'll have to pick me up from my parents. It's meet the parents agad, best, because I do not have any more excuses to go out. And then he was like, sure, when are you free? So I told him like, I'm free Saturday night. So that was Saturday morning. I told him I'm free tonight because I don't really have plans anymore because I'm about to go back to the Philippines tomorrow. That is Sunday, or up to you. And then he was like, I can meet you tomorrow. I can meet you tomorrow. Like, I'll pick you up tomorrow dinner. So that is Sunday dinner, because he has another date for Saturday dinner. he's on a dating app, so I don't know. So he's just like, oh, I have plans for tonight already. Okay, sure. I don't mind. I didn't really like care. Okay, so Sunday came. It was my last Sunday before going back to the Philippines. My mom forced me to go to the church. So we went to church, and then they started planning about me going to my aunt and stuff like that, meeting up with friends or family before I leave. And in my head, I was like, oh no, I can't do this. I can't. Because the trick with going out when it comes to my parents is to not tell them until you're almost at the door and like about to go. So my initial plan was once he's there, I'll tell them I'm going out on a date and he's already there. So that was my initial plan, but then my mom started like making all these plans like, oh, we're going to this aunt, we're going to this uncle. I'm like, oh no, I can't. And then she's like, wait, why? I'm going out on a date. And then my mom was like, what? With who? With I few days before I met up with an ex living in Texas and had dinner with him and his family. So he's like, with that guy's name. Well, not really his name, with what my mom calls him. And then I told him no, with someone else. And then my mom started looking at my brother. And my brother was like, just poker face. My dad, the whole time we were in the car, my dad was just like smiling. And then my mom was just like, where are you going out on a date with? Blah, 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 blah. And then when he told the guy, and then I was like, with Shorty? Okay, I was like, no, he's actually tall. And then I told Jonathan, like, hey, my mom thought I was going out with this guy. And then Jonathan was like, because I talked about my exes, and I know it's not right when you're going out on a date, but didn't really care. Like, this is me. If you want to get to know me, this is it. And then he was like, no, you should have told your mom that I'm a foot taller than him. So, that. And then I was like, no, I met him via dating app. I met him online. So she freaked out. And then my brother was just, poker face still. And then my dad just started telling my mom, like, hey, you have to let her go. Because if you don't, she won't come back to the US to visit us anymore. Like, she lives in Manila on her own doing whatever she wants. And she's here like your prisoner, basically. So, and then my brother also told my mom, like, she's traveling the world. She's going out of the country and traveling on her own. Do you really think she's not dating? And you're worried about her dating in the United States, in America? Don't you think it's actually safer to date here compared when she was in Manila or some other third world countries? And so my mom didn't like that. She was pretty upset. So I messaged Jonathan that I was like, hey, this isn't good. Like, my mom is kind of freaking out. So it's okay if you don't want to see me later or if you don't want to pick me up. Like, it's only a second date. I understand. And then his reply was, if this is going anywhere serious, I better know what I'm getting myself into, So, dinner time, 8 o'clock. I was getting ready. I gave him the address to my parents. He picked me up, and there. Of course, I'm not yet ready. I was like finishing up, getting ready. And my mom was there and was like, okay, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. They talked. My mom basically interviewed him. And Jonathan was even like, oh, do you need my driver's license? Ano ako, borrower's card sa library. Ano yung borrower's card sa library? Kailangan mo ng ID, bes. So, anyway, yeah, that's how it was. Anyway, so we went out. That was 8 o'clock in the evening. OMG, at around 9 o'clock or 9:30. My mom was buzzing my phone. My brother was calling me and messaging me that my mom was freaking out. It has only been an hour and a half since we left. So we were having dinner. We had sushi again at Vintage Park. I had a great time. It was fun, and I was like, I'm really sorry. This is like so awkward. I know I'm old enough to be dating, but like, just this is like me being a teenager or whatever in your culture. It's like, no, no, I totally understand. Your mom is just a very caring person, right, Jonathan? She just cares about y'all kids, you know? I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay, so um, he was like, what time should I bring you home to, leave a good impression towards your parents? I'm like, I guess like at least before midnight. So we went to an Irish pub and had drink and watch football. I think that was football. Yeah, and it was like trying to teach me like what's happening because I have no idea. And then we went home. I think we were home by like 10 o'clock, something like that. So best 8 to 10, 2 hours, not bad, right? So knocked on my parents' door. Mom opened it. My Jonathan walked me to the door, and you would expect them to be like, "Oh, thank you for bringing our daughter home safe. Go." No, my mom was like, "Come in, have a seat." And she started talking to him, interviewing him, and everything. And it went on for almost 2 hours. It's almost 12 midnight, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, it's Monday tomorrow. He works at 8 o'clock in the morning or even earlier. I'm here. I'm safe. Can you please let him go now?" Like, go. So I again walked him out of the door, and he was like, I was so embarrassed. Imagine I was in my late 20s and I'm being treated like a teenager, and I was really embarrassed. So I told him like, you know what? If you don't ever want to see me again, it's totally fine. I totally get it. I totally understand. It's just weird, I know. And then he was like, no, it's okay. Actually, I want to invite you for dinner again tomorrow because I was leaving Wednesday, right? So Monday we went out again for dinner. He picked me up straight from his work, and we watched a movie. He was pretty tired because he was straight from work. And I was like, you know what? It's different. If this was in the Philippines, like it wouldn't be like this. Like you should come and visit the Philippines because Philippines is nice. Gabji, your mom and Jonathan had a longer chat than the two of you that night. Probably. That's probably right. Yes, Gabby, that is probably right. So, um, where was I? Okay, so I walked him. Okay, Monday, I told him that Mitch for me. Hi, Mitch. He was like, sure, I'll go visit the Philippines. I have enough points and miles that he has been saving up from like all these flights he has taken for work and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna go see the Philippines. So that was Monday morning. He was talking about it. Tuesday, he was like looking into it. He claims that it was Tuesday that he booked, or Monday he was looking into it, and Tuesday he booked the ticket. That's what I said. But what I remember is he booked it. Yeah, yeah. I guess he's right. He booked it Tuesday. Tuesday he booked the ticket to the Philippines after the third date. That was Monday. Um, and yeah, he asked when I was free, and I only had a week off because at that time I was really busy working. As soon as I flew back to Manila, I have like appointments and schedules, work schedules, and flights and everything. So I told him like I have that Halloween week where almost everybody is on a break. So I told him like you can go to the Philippines at this time for 1 week and see me there, and he did. Okay, so that was Monday. Tuesday we went out on a date again, and Wednesday he was invited for kind of my despedida party before I leave. So and he brought me to the airport together with my family, and so yeah, that was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Oh no, Wednesday I was flying back to the Philippines. So 5 days straight. And then if that was October 7, I guess that was wait, just a moment. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that was October 11 that I flew back to the Philippines. By October, like the October 29th or 30th. I don't really remember the exact date, but end of October, he flew to the Philippines. And I'm like, wow, this is nice. So that is actually how I met my husband via Tinder. And as soon as he got in the Philippines, my friends were actually there. Jazz, Sam, and Nina. We've all planned, we have these yearly Halloween parties that we go to. So, and everybody is staying with me because I have my own place back then. And yeah, so we partied the night away, and it was really fun. We all stayed together until the morning, and Jonathan on his first time in a club in the Philippines like, oh, this kid's even legal to date, I mean to drink. I'm like, yeah, they don't ID people here. That's how different it is. So that was my experience with online dating. He flew to the Philippines. Three After 3 dates, he booked the ticket, and after 3 weeks, he was there in the Philippines to see how my life was. And from then on, we just started, you know, dating, talking, and before he left, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And he knew that I'm coming back to the United States after a month for the Christmas and New Year, and the rest is history. So, what do I think about online dating? To me, it's awesome because I met the person I'm gonna spend my lifetime with through it. As I've mentioned, to me, it doesn't really matter where you meet the person, because life, love moves in mysterious ways, and it may or may not be successful, but I'm pretty sure you'll meet some interesting people. If you do online dating, though, my advice is, what advice should I give people who are dating or looking for someone? Gabji, a Tinder success story. Yeah, definitely it is. Um, you have to keep an open mind. You have to know what you want. Uh, and you have to be sure of what you want and stop compromising, because if you like swipe right mo pala nag-compromise ka na, there's really no use. Like, like, I don't know, guys, what are your online dating tips? Okay, to have a good swipe, para i-swipe right ka, I think, of course, put up a good picture. That's why you have to like work on yourself, when you're dating. I remember Gabby once told us this, her friends, like, it's actually nice to go on dates, or it's a good practice for interviews or job interviews, because if you've gone through so many dates, eventually you stop getting nervous about meeting people and talking about yourself. That when you need to go for a job interview or whatever interview, it's easier and you're more comfortable with yourself because you meet people outside of your circle, and you learn how to interact with them more. So yeah, it's a win-win. Just, be careful as always with anything, necessary precautions and things like that. But it's fun. You have to look at it with an open mind. Not just like, I know some people are so judgmental or have this thing about online apps or dating apps. At the end of the day, I feel like it depends on the person. Okay. Jonathan said, read Modern Romance by, how do you pronounce that? Aziz Ansari? Yeah. Yeah, so, guys, have you tried online dating? How is it for you? Knock, have you done online dating? How is online dating there in Malaysia? Gabby, did you do online dating? Did you try to date online or do dating apps when you were in the UK? Mitch, did you? Sam, how's the online dating world, my friend? Can you share your experiences? Jonathan, before me, how is your dating? How is online dating for you? Oh, Gabji, I like your earlier advice when you mentioned that one shouldn't think that you're the only one. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a dating app. you'll match with a lot of people, and probably people will be like, chatting with someone else as well. So until you both have talked that, have had this talk that, hey, we're exclusive, do not assume. The best thing that you should learn from online about online dating is you cannot assume. You have to say it and make sure that you guys are on the same page. What else? Um, Try to be as honest as possible. Jonathan Pullen said that his online dating days before me was, it's like a job. It's like a job that, but you don't get paid. Huh, babe? It's like a job, but you don't get paid, huh? Because you do the you spend money when you go on dates, right? Gabji, swipe as much as you can. That's true. Like, try to meet people, and yeah. God, no, you haven't tried online dating? Now I feel like I wanted to. Yeah, it's fun, but again, you have to be careful because not everything is a success story, and there are some weirdos out there. One weirdo, Jonathan Poland, time and money. Yeah, I bet. I bet you were dating so much. It's like a job, huh? It's like a part time job. Okay, so there are some weirdos that I met when I was online dating. One weirdo was like, he added me on Facebook, and for some reason back then my security setup wasn't very good. So he would see people who adds me or the people who I add, and I have never met this person. I only matched with him and started talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, so there are so many guys adding you now on Facebook from Texas," and I'm like, "Oh, creepy, creepo," and he started like writing poems about me and stuff like that. And you haven't even seen me, so to me that's just like, oh my god, that was kind of creepy. I was like, nope, I'm blocking you. Okay, Jonathan Plum. I mean, it's hard to find that person, and they are into you as much as you are into them. Yeah, that's true. So, to me, for ladies, just chill, and I still believe in the guy pursuing you, and let them do the work. You're the catch, you're the prize. At least that's how I look at it. Jonathan, or you think the date went well but never hear from them and from them again, or aren't interested in another date, or maybe they're just like me who will say that they're busy and they're really busy. Yeah, I was really busy back then. Gab G, her tip is let a friend know if you are going out with someone for the first time just to be safe. Or bring a chaperone. Right, friends? My Yeah, I would do that. Bring a chaperone. Um, magmatwa na humupong dalaga. Okay, for those who do not understand that, because even some Filipinos will not understand that, she said she'll just grow, uh, be an old maid. Magiging matandang dalaga na lang daw siya. Uy, sayang ang beauty. Sayang ang, what do you call this, genes. But if that makes you happy, I support you. That's what life is like. You don't need to have a partner to feel fulfilled. You don't need to have kids to be happy. You do whatever is good for you. Jonathan, no, I'm the prize. Yes, baby. Sure. Sure. Okay, yeah, but that's a really good advice from Gabby. Let a friend know if you're going out, and please never, like, okay, always meet in a public space. Ladies, bring your own car, or bring someone who will pick you up. Yeah, when I was in the Philippines and back before I met my husband and going on dates, I would meet up at the mall, which is so near my place, like a 5 minute walk. And I sometimes would even still bring my car because no, I'm not getting in the car with you. Like, I'm gonna drive myself home. Just some necessary safety precautions, especially if the guy is kind of a crip. Um, some some guys are just horrible. Not really. Like, not all dates went well. Like, some are just like, nah. He looks so much better in his picture than in person. I guess that's how guy feels when they see someone like looks so pretty, and then like when they meet in person, I'm like, oh, yeah. There are dates that I went to was like, oh, his picture looked really good, and then when I saw him in person, it'd be like, oh, that's him. It doesn't even look like him. I mean, I mean, Jonathan, why are you going on dates with Crips? No, I don't. Like, if we're just messaging and they're like kind of creepy, I don't go on. Like, I block them. But sometimes they're good at hiding it until they meet you, or sometimes they're just like they meet me and they get crazy about me. Just kidding. Yeah, those are the days. But of course, nowadays with the coronavirus, I don't know if guys are still doing that online thing. I don't know if Tinder is even still a thing. Is it still a thing now? Well, Gabby told me that it's more Bumble nowadays. Other viewers, how is it now? Hmm, I don't know. Okay. Well, that is it for this Sundate. Unless you want to say something, Jonathan. Huh? You want to say good, hi, hello, and goodbye to all the girls you've loved before? Just kidding. Or met before on the online site. Okay, yeah. So to close this, I just want to say that I'm glad I swiped right with my husband now, and if you haven't tried it, is it still a thing? Yeah. So I'm glad I swiped right, and I'm glad I met you there and went on a first date with you. Even if you starved me on a first date, I'm glad that I gave you a second chance on a second date. And I'm glad that you flew to the Philippines to meet me again and spend some more time with me and all those stuff. And yeah, um, anyone out there still searching and doing that online dating thing, be careful, enjoy, protect yourself, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Okay, good luck and God bless. Thank you very much, guys, for shooting in today, and I really had a great time, and I'm back, and I will try to be more active again here in YouTube. It's just been really crazy with work. um it's been kind of stressful. I've just been adjusting with everything. It's my first time to have a real full-time job as an intern, at least. uh yeah, I mean, I was working a lot in the Philippines. I was teaching. I would work more than 40 hours a week, but I would get like long days off. I can work a month straight and then have a whole month off to just relax. But yeah, this is how it is now. I'm gonna try to catch up with my channel, but thank you everyone for joining me. Gab, Ross, Con, of course my husband, Sam, and everybody who's like silent viewers right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And watch out for my next YouTube videos, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And comment down below if you have some successful dating stories. Gabby might have some success stories with online dating, right, Gabby? I mean, even if things didn't work out, sometimes you meet people that were good or taught you a lesson. And even if it wasn't good, I'm sure there are lessons that you learn along the way. So, yeah, maybe I will do another live stream about you know, dating. I don't know. I have some topics I still want to talk about, but today, yeah, it's about online dating and how I met my husband. Not love. I'm glad I swiped right. You deserve all the love you are feeling. Thank you. Yeah, I remember when you were my student, Con. Dang, who was I dating then? I was still with the 8 years, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think I was still with the 8 years back then when you were my student. See, time flies. Things change. I'm so much happy now. Oh God, she is one of the best teacher I ever had. Seriously, making the toxic subject so interesting. Sadly, other future pharmacists wouldn't experience her teaching. Oh, I'm so touched. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. And I do miss teaching as well. I think, ano bang tinuro ko sa inyo? I think I taught Module 4. Because in PACOP, was it PACOP? Yeah. I usually teach biopharmaceutics sometimes. Pharmacology, I usually handle pharmacology and toxicology. I think those are the subjects I taught with her. So thank you, Con. I appreciate that. Gab G, belated happy Teacher's Day. Thank you. It's weird. More people greet me Happy Teacher's Day than greeting me Happy Pharmacist Day. It's weird. But yeah. Okay. Ross, same. Love you, ma'am. See you soon. Thank you, Ross. Ross is the first batch in UIC that I taught, and that was Module 6. See, that's micro, para, public health, quality, quantity. I do miss teaching. I actually have to study again soon because the practice here is just very different. As I was telling my friend, it's just crazy. Like, remember when I was teaching pharmacology in the Philippines, I would always tell my students that if you're taking the board exam in the Philippines, you have to know a lot about antibiotics, anti-infectives, because they are gonna surely show up in the exam. That's for sure. Like all the mechanism of actions of those and their interactions and stuff like that. You have to know your antibiotics. Here, guys, the fast movers, of course, are the CNS drugs. I need to brush up my CNS knowledge because those substances that we have there are no match to the substances that we have here. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when I teach, like, the drug of choice for ADHD would be this, and I'll be like, I'm not sure we actually do this in the Philippines because back when I interned, I didn't see that in the drugstore. Now, I see them all the time, and some of the stuff that we talk about that, in the Philippines are inside a cabinet, locked, are just in the shelves because the ones that are in this, okay, in the safe lock here are the oxy and stuff like that, and in the drugstores in the Philippines you won't even have that. Anyway, maybe I'll talk more about that experience or like how different the practice is here and there when I get more insight of the things here, and maybe students or pharmacists from other parts of the country can chat with me and tell me their experience, or other parts of the world, because I know some are pharmacists in other parts of the world, and it's very different from country to country, and people have to realize that. Oh, and one thing that I also realized today was that studying pharmacy here is expensive, guys. It's usually around $200,000 to $300,000 to get a pharmacy degree. That is why they get paid well. Okay, because a lot of misconception with like, oh, I'm a pharmacist in the Philippines, I hope I'm earning this well. But I do know that tuition fee in the Philippines is also kind of, you know, high, and I know that we're still underpaid and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, this saying goodbye has gone on for cool. I miss talking. I miss going, making more videos. I'll be up with more, so please watch out for that. And again, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Have a good Sunday in the Philippines, Malaysia. Good night wherever you are, guys. Good night if it's nighttime there. Good morning if you're in this part of the world in the United States. Good afternoon if you're somewhere else. I think if you're in the Middle East, it's gonna be like good afternoon. Yeah, thank you very much, and see you again next time. By the way, I still have almost all your slides with me. Ha ha ha. Glad to know that I have to review my slides. OMG. I'm glad you kept them. Remembrance. Let's meet up soon someday. Visit the United States. Or when I go back to the Philippines. I miss you and I have a very good memory. So if we did have an interaction or I had like lunch with you or talked with you when you were my student, I remember you. So just chat away. Okay? So thank you and see you again next time. For real. Goodbye na guys. Bye. I'll go back to sleep na at matulog na rin kayo. Love you all. Mwah.